was ring announcer Manny Whites as he made with the introductions. Tony Marino on the right, Roy McClarty on the left, referee Lou Scosa in the middle, issuing instructions to the boys, and they're going to be hard at it in a moment or so. One never knows, but all the earmarks point on the basis of both men's reputation to a fast scientific bout that is sure to thrill the many fans of really legitimate wrestling that I'm sure are in the audience. Keep your eyes open. Don't look away, because these guys move with the speed of light. Arm locked and a head scissors by Tony Marino, the youngster out of Rochester, New York. Tony weighs 225 pounds. Roy McClarty, a few pounds more. McClarty in the throes of a head scissors, trying to turn the hold to his advantage, but can't do it. Tony Marino was the Rookie of the Year in professional wrestling in 1957. Now McClarty squirms loose, puts on a double toe hold, and promptly asks Marino if he would like to concede. Tony, in obvious pain, writhing around, but nevertheless exhibiting a tremendous amount of courage, refuses. Young Tony has made tremendous strides as a professional wrestler during his comparatively short tenure. He broke in Rochester and suffered a succession of defeats, which he attributed to nervousness and a lack of experience. So in order to gain the experience he needed and overcome the nervousness, which is natural before hometown fans, the type of which you're always trying to please, why Tony took himself west and gained that experience and became a tremendous hit. McClarty applying the pressure, the double toe hold. And Marino attempting to find a little leverage in McClarty's head, but McClarty ducks out of the way. And you will note, well, you probably are unable to, but eventually that pressure's got to loosen a little bit, and that's when Marino will try to kick loose. McClarty really applying it. Muscles are standing out on the upper arm, biceps, and he's got a pretty good pair. Marino not resisting too strongly, because if he did, he'd probably lose that foot right up to the knee. A little bit about McClarty. Comes from Chicago, Illinois. He's married to a lady wrestler, Shirley Strimple. They have 4 very fine youngsters. And Shirley, in her right, is just about as famous as is Roy. And Roy is one of the outstanding stars of the game. Look at that. He uses Marino's back for leverage and hauls back on that left foot until Tony plops back to the canvas. Referee Lou Scosa could read a copy of Reader's Digest for the little he has had to do. Now, Marino latches on to a headlock and pulls the feet loose, and now the shoe is on the other foot as Tony begins to turn on the power. You can see those muscles contract as he yanks at Roy's head, and some customer in the front row seats there at the Memorial Auditorium advised Tony to take his head right off. Not very sporting, but it would sure be effective. Boy, that's good for the cauliflower ears, of which these wrestlers have a considerable number. No more than 2 apiece, of course. Off the ropes, shoulder butt. But McClarty recovered quickly and came up with a toe hold. Felt to see if that ear was still on, and it is, if only barely. Young Tony Marino is the case with so many of wrestling's greats, is never too busy to lend a helping hand to youngsters. Young Tony was one of the principal directors and workers in the Easter Seal Drive in 1957 in Salt Lake City, Utah, which went over the top in tremendous fashion. And Tony works with youngsters